power movement is about replacing.
He's not part of the Washington buddy system. He's not part of a broken system that's brought this country to its knees.
Donald Trump is an outsider. He's a straight shooter who tells it like it is. He's a billionaire for the people. That's shaking things up. That was the message on the campaign trail. But with over a year since his inauguration, it's time to ask, how much of the swamp has actually been drained?
But your own transition team is filled with lobbyists.
It's the only people you have down there.
And now he's going to go after Goldman Sachs. Doesn't work that way. Goldman Sachs owns him. Remember that, folks. They own him.
The Trump administration is littered with former members of Goldman Sachs. A total of 7 former Goldman members have been nominated for top positions in the administration. After 1 firing and 2 resignations, there's 4 left. These include the Secretary of the Treasury, Steve Mnuchin, who worked for Goldman for 17 years, and President Trump's chief economic advisor, Gary Cohn, who was the president of Goldman Sachs for over a decade. That's all pretty confusing after everything President Trump said before the election.
Let me tell you, Goldman Sachs and Citibank have him totally under control, folks, believe me, okay? Me, I'm not taking money, so it's very easy, okay?
But it's possible Trump merely picked these people because they knew the system.
The system.
Maybe the actual policies they created together would help the average American. But that is not what we've seen. Let's start with TrumpCare. Every version of that bill was incredibly unpopular with the American people. The nonpartisan CBO found that the reform was a huge tax break for the top 1%, all while throwing millions of people off health insurance. That has got to be a step in the wrong direction for a nation where about 45,000 people die every year because they don't have adequate access to healthcare. Then there's Trump's tax reform. 2 different reports, one from the widely respected Tax Policy Center and the other from Congress's Joint Committee on Taxation, both clearly show this plan is regressive. The biggest tax cuts, both in dollars and as a percentage, go to the wealthy. While corporate business seems to be booming as stock markets cross all-time highs, it pays to remember that 84% of stocks are owned by only 10% of Americans. With wages stagnant for 4 decades and half of Americans making less than $30,000 a year, we need reform that helps all of us, not just the rich. To President Trump's credit, he did fulfill his campaign promise to pull out of the TPP. But some of the worst provisions of the TPP are now a part of his renegotiations of NAFTA. Despite all of Trump's flaws, his supporters did get something right. There is a problem with the corrupt Washington establishment. We now know that even presidential primaries for major political parties have been rigged. What the people want turns out to be much less important than the interests of the rich and powerful. But despite his anti-establishment rhetoric, the best pieces of evidence for President Trump really being an outsider are his eating habits.
So here's what's going to happen.
Donald Trump is not elite.
How about
He's
the
a billionaire.
cheeseburgers? How about the pizza that we're...
Everyone eats cheeseburgers and pizzas. What are you talking about?
Now I give you a choice. The rest is up to you.